Like not injured or anything. She was just like, I'm just like, just seems like things weren't lining up for her spiritually and morally and that kind of thing. Like you have Lucy with Proven now. Like Sydney's quite young. Caroline's quite young. It's obviously different. It's a different experience that you had. Because I guess there's different pressures now, different, like, it's just kind of different, I suppose, than it was for you. There's much more social media, there's much more obligations, and like, you also have those pressures and those obligations, but you've been around longer and you're older and you're able, like, just kind of like hardened, I guess. Wow. Do you see from your perspective, like, oh yeah, I can see how Emma and Mal would need a break, or how Hayley needed a break, or I can, like, do you feel an obligation to people like Lucy and that kind of stuff, like to help prepare them for what maybe those girls weren't prepared for?
Well, how much time do we have, right? Like this is like a whole thing, because it's a serious thing too. And it's not just women, it's also men as well. And I think when we think of the younger generation, it's so important to guide them and allow them to understand this is a safe space, right? And unfortunately, through social media and it's not like people are like, when someone makes a comment, right, on social media and it's not nice, I don't genuinely think they're like, you know what, I'm going to write this comment to absolutely, pick on this person and make them feel shit about themselves. I think it's just a thought that they feel freely to comment, not understanding the repercussions that it may have on that other person that it's about. And that's what social media is so, it can be so toxic, but and it's a really tough one, right? Because like, as these young teenagers fall in love with CrossFit and fall in love with, like we were talking about earlier, the community, and they get addicted to getting better and pushing themselves in training and everything like that. Well, along with all this great hype and fun community stuff, when you're really good, you then draw this like brand and like this image and you make a name for yourself. But along with that comes that scrutinizing, right? And especially when they're so young, like it's so important to be surrounded by good people. And I talk about this in my book because the benefit that I could have easily gone off the rails multiple times, people accusing me of XYZ, just head on over to some of those other outlets and platforms and you'll get it all. But because I have a great team around me, they, they keep me level-headed and they bring me down if I'm ever getting too cocky. But